Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Sorrow, and I am back with another wonderful video today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Today, guys, I'm going to be comparing the most talked about hand cannons in the game of Destiny, which is the Hawkmoon versus the FateBringer. Between these two wonderful hand cannons, which one comes out to be the greatest? Now, if you do not know, the Hawkmoon is an exotic, and the FateBringer is a legendary that you can only get from the Vault of Glass on beating it on hard. So I'm going to be comparing actually both weapons in three different categories. The pros and cons, is it actually good for both PvP and PvE, or is it just one-sided? And the primary secondary traits. So what we're going to start off with today, guys, is the Hawkmoon. Alright, guys, now what we're going to start off with first is the Hawkmoon. Now we're going to do the pros and the cons. Now I'm going to go ahead and start off with the cons, actually, because I like to get the bad stuff out the way. Number one, it has no collateral damage. Now if you're thinking, Sarah, what does that mean? That means if you shoot one enemy, you have to aim at the next enemy and shoot. Whereas so if it's a lot of enemies jumbled up in one area, it doesn't wipe them out at all one time. Number two, it's an exotic weapon. It takes up that exotic slot, and sadly you cannot have two exotics on at the same time. So if you're a person like use the Icebreaker, Patience in Time, things like the Gallahorn, all these wonderful other exotics that goes in your secondary or your heavy weapon slot, it basically controls that slot, which kind of sucks. Number three is the iron sights. Now this is my personal opinion. When I aim down with the iron sights of the Hawkmoon, I kind of feel that I have narrow vision. It just envisions me just to look straight. I can't look left or right. I can't look around the sights. Again, that's my opinion personally. Number four is something I wish that Bungie put in all exotics, but it has no kind of burn. It's an exotic that is a great exotic, that is an awesome exotic with no burn. So when it comes to doing things like the Nightfall or the Weekly or things that require burn, it's worthless. It really is. Alright, guys, so this is the pros of the Hawkmoon. Now also in the pros, I'm going to mention the other two categories that I said I'm going to grade these weapons off, which is it good for PvP and PvE, and the primary secondary traits, because they kind of tie into the pros at this point. So number one pro of the Hawkmoon, guys, is the primary traits gives you damage boost, which is actually luck in the chamber and holding aces. So it gives you up to 3 bullets that does extra damage. Now here's the kicker on this. If you're playing PvP or PvE, either one bullet can actually have both traits active at the same time. And in PvP, one headshot kills you in one shot. Crazy, right? That is sick. It absolutely is. Now, also the secondary traits on the Hawkmoon gives you a range boost, which basically makes this thing a sniper rifle in PvP. In two different secondary categories, you can add additional range, making it that you can outshoot snipers in PvP across the map with 2 to 3 shots. I have done it before the Hawkmoon actually got the upgrade, so it's pretty awesome. And number three, guys, it's basically only great for PvP. It is an awesome weapon for PvP, to be honest. When you have everything unlocked on this, when you have everything good to go, it's a great weapon. Now for PvE, it doesn't really do no collateral damage. It really it's good against bosses in times, but then it's not one of those clutch weapons when you have no health, everyone's down, you're playing a Nightfall, you need to turn around, get away. It's not one of those weapons. So guys, if I had to rate the score between 1 and 10 on the Hawkmoon, guys, I give it a straight up 9. Now let's go right into the FateBringer. So like I mentioned earlier, guys, the only way you can unlock the FateBringer is by playing the Vault of Glass on hard, and it's a random drop. So you're basically not even guaranteed this weapon when you beat the Vault of Glass on hard. But let's start off with the pros of the FateBringer. Compared to the Hawkmoon, guys, it has a -1 impact and a -3 on stability. That means it doesn't do as much damage as the Hawkmoon and is not as stable as the Hawkmoon, but you're not going to really notice that -3 difference, to be honest, because they both have a lot of kick to them. Another thing in a con that kind of sucks is basically the FateBringer has no range boost. What you get out the package is exactly what you get. You're not going to get no added range from the secondary traits. You cannot add any range at all. So that's when it comes down to number 3 con, is the secondary traits to me seems worthless except for one. I wish they really made the FateBringer secondary traits much better, but instead they really didn't. Like, they give you something like Field Scout, which gives you extra ammo, but that's 1 extra bullet. Especially when it comes to single point sling, which gives you the option to hurry up, swap weapons really fast, which is good for PvP, but then that takes away from your explosive rounds, which basically does splash damage towards enemies that's near that one enemy you killed, which comes out to be the pros, guys. The pros of the FateBringer basically make this weapon great for both PvP and PvE because it can do collateral damage. A precision shot in the head makes the enemy explode. When an enemy explodes in PvE, if it hits other enemies around, it basically kills them unless the enemy is a higher level or basically an ultra, so that it actually still do quite some damage to them. In PvP, guys, I have shot a person in the head and whoever was next to him took down their shield and took down half of their health. So that kind of tells you how much damage this does. Not only that, it has fire splash damage. So when you shoot them as a secondary trait, it also does damage from the bullet and it does splash damage additional. So anyone around also get hit with that. So that's crazy, right? Number 3, guys, it's a legendary. So when you have things again like all these awesome freaking exotic secondaries and these awesome exotic heavies, you don't have to take up that exotic slot. So it gives you that option, which is really, really good. Number 4 pro is the precision shots add you faster reload speeds, which comes really in handy for both PvP and PvE. One shot, quick click reload, you're done. You can start shooting again. You don't have to go through a slow reload time. As long as it's a headshot. And you keep hearing me mention PvP and PvE, guys, because it is a very versatile weapon between both. I believe I prefer both weapons between PvE and PvP, but the FateBringer you can probably use on both really good, and you can probably do more damage, to be honest, within a PvE than a Hawkmoon. So if I had to rate this weapon, guys, and I know you guys are thinking, Sir, you're probably gonna give it to the Hawkmoon, or you probably already know I'm gonna give it to the FateBringer, and I am. If I had to give this FateBringer an actual score, I would give it a 9.5. The reason being because it's more versatile between both PvP and PvE, and it can be used better for both. Although the secondary trait seems worthless and no range boost, versus the Hawkmoon, guys, it can do more collateral damage, and for those clutch moments, it's an awesome weapon. Alright, guys, so I hope you did enjoy this video, man. I know everyone is going to have different opinions about it, so comment below and tell me what you like between the two and which one is the better weapon for you. The next comparison video I got coming out, guys, is the Icebreaker versus the Patience in Time. And I know you hear me laughing because I actually got into a huge debate with somebody clan on here why I'm not going to mention, guys. Just wait for you watch that wait for you just actually watch that video, guys. So I hope you did enjoy, guys. Thank you for tuning in again, and I'm out. Peace.